Eine wunderschöne Mittagsstunde dürfen wir Ihnen sagen, hier bei uns im Saal und auch willkommen an Sie zu Hause. Schön, dass Sie wieder mit dabei sind. Wir haben ja heute einen Fokustag hier bei uns auf der Bühne 3 und zwar geht es darum, ums internationale Studieren. Wir haben zuvor Frankreich kennenlernen dürfen und jetzt geht es um das Thema Study in the UK. Wir haben zu Gast Elena Roversi, klingt italienisch, arbeitet aber im British Council Austria, da hat italienische Wurzeln in der Familie und wir freuen uns sehr über Besuch aus Großbritannien, Valentina Chervenkova von den Universities UK International. And how does studying in the UK works? We look forward to your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much for your interest in studying in the UK. My name is Elena. I work at the British Council as the Key Relationship Coordinator. And today we have a guest from London, my colleague Valentina. So first of all, I would like to start by telling you why you should study in the UK. The UK offers you a world-class education. That means that 4 of the 10 most ranked universities are located in the UK. 7 of the top 50 and 25 of the top 200 universities are found in the UK. The UK is ranked 2nd in the world for science and research. And some courses offer a year of working in the industry or an internship in the industry you might be interested in. A bit of the types of the degrees. So as an Austrian degree, the bachelor usually takes 3 years. Different is the master, which usually takes 1 year, and the PhD is a minimum of 3 years. Most of the universities offer over 50,000 course combinations. So for example, if you would like to study law, you can combine it with, for example, French. Most universities offer also a placement year if you're interested in. But how to get the insider guide to studying in the UK? So the British Council offers this website, which is study-uk.britishcouncil.org, which might help you find out about how to study in the UK education, and to plan your studies. By, for example, if you are interested to look some courses or to search scholarships, it can give you practical advices also and real-life experiences. And also the social media platforms are important if you are looking for information on that. So again, it's study-uk.britishcouncil.org. Okay, so you might now think, how do I apply for a British university? It's a bit different than in Austria, because in Austria you just look for the university you're interested in and then you apply through that web page. For undergraduate applications in the UK, these are done through one portal, which is ucas.com. It's different than postgraduate applications because these are done through the individual university's website. Documents you should have ready when you apply for a university in the UK are, first of all, qualifications, which might be, for example, your grades. Second of all, very important, your written personal statement, which should show your passion and the motivation to study in that subject area, also your enthusiasm and the skills and experiences you can bring through your studies. This personal statement should be a knowledge and a commitment to the subject you're interested in. It might show a good attitude to learning and your personal development through the studies. And it's also very important because it might show the ability to articulate yourself in the written language. Also important is, of course, the quality and the content of your references, which might be, for example, from your employee, your teacher, or your tutor. As I mentioned before, the personal statement can help you by showing your English level. The British Council offers also the IELTS test, which you might need if you apply for a university. IELTS stands for International English Language Testing System, and it's one of the most popular English tests. Taking IELTS so really open doors, not only in the UK, as it's accepted in more than 140 countries and in more than 11,000 organizations. We at the British Council Austria offer the IELTS on computer several times a week in Vienna. The results are available from 3 to 5 days after the test. It's basically the same test as the IELTS on paper. The difference is that, of course, you type your answers on a computer. Headphones are available for your listening test, and the speaking test is with a real-life examiner. The British Council offers also free preparation material if you need so. If you would like to have more information, you can just look up our webpage, which is britishcouncil.at/Prüfungen. So again, an overview about the key websites I've been talking about. For general inquiries, if you have any questions, you can look them up at Study UK, so it's study-uk.britishcouncil.org. For applying for a university, you can do so through UCAS, so ucas.com. I would also like to mention UK Council for International Student Affairs, ukisa.org.uk, and National Union of Students, NUS.org, which might help you with support if you have any questions on your future study in the UK. If you would like to contact the British Council, you can do so by looking up our webpage, which is britishcouncil.at. We're also on Facebook, British Council Austria. We're also on Twitter, AT_British, or you might just send us an email at exams@britishcouncil.at. But all informations are also found in our stand. Thank you very much for your attention, and now I'm handing over to my colleague Valentina.
Thank you very much, Elena. Thank you, everyone, for attending this presentation. It's a pleasure for me to be here in Vienna and meet with so many prospective students that are interested in studying in the UK. As Elena just said, my name is Valentina. I work for an organization called Universities UK International. We represent 140 UK universities domestically and abroad, and we share information with European partners and interested parties, just like yourself. So today what I'm going to do is walk you through some of the changes in terms of provisions, fees, immigration, status of European students into the UK. But I will also speak a little bit about the value of the UK higher education degree, about the Austrian students in the UK. First, to start with, obviously, all of you know that a big, tremendous event happened a couple of years ago. Brexit happened, the UK left the European Union, and this created lots of changes for Europeans living in the UK and prospective students from European countries. The UK and the EU signed a trade and cooperation agreement in December of 2020 that created and explained the conditions of EU students studying in the UK. Just very briefly to say, it is still possible to study in the UK as a European national, but there are several key changes to consider before you make an informed decision. The UK has been a traditionally very popular study destination for international students, especially European ones, and as in your particular case, Austrian ones. For Austrian students, the most popular study destination is Germany, second one is the UK, and the third one is Switzerland. So as you can see, you can expect to meet a lot of Austrian students in the UK universities. For the latest academic year that we have information for, I can tell you that there were almost 1,500 Austrian students in the UK, with the majority of them pursuing undergraduate degrees, namely bachelor's degrees, and around 620 studying on a master's degree level. The most popular regions for Austrian students were obviously London, Scotland, and southeast of England. As you can see, the key universities for Austrian students were mostly situated in London, being the most popular one being University College London, King's College London, University of Edinburgh in Scotland, University of Oxford in southeast of England, the London School of Economics, University of Cambridge, and Glasgow in Scotland. The most popular courses were business and management studies, social sciences. In the social sciences cluster, you can think of anything related to humanities, politics, international relations, then design and creative arts, history, philosophy and religious studies, and engineering and technology. As you can see, in comparison to other European countries, the Austrian domiciled students can be found at the bottom, close to the bottom of the list. But as I mentioned earlier, it was the scale of the country itself, the number of the population, and the interest to other countries is quite big, and that's why you can't expect to have that many Austrian students in UK campuses, just like is the case for France, Italy, and Spain. Moving on to the more interesting points about the value of the UK degree. As I just mentioned, the UK higher education system has a globally recognized reputation for an amazing research ecosystem with a lot of investment from government and foreign government. And UK universities have a rich history in the UK, with Oxford and Cambridge, for example, both having been founded over 800 years ago. International and UK employers recognize the value of a UK degree. They know that UK universities are very academically rigorous institutions that only accept high quality applicants and make sure that the students who graduate from there are equipped with skills like critical thinking, analytical approach to problem solving, have had major exposure to international cultures. All of those are soft skills, if I may put it this way, that prepare an individual for any context for professional development. However, some facts to mention, Elena also mentioned it earlier, British universities take a number of places in the World University League tables. Nearly a fifth of the world's top 50 universities are in the UK. As I mentioned earlier, employers globally understand the value of British education and the high standards. As Elena just mentioned, UK universities offer specialized degrees at all levels, which means that you don't have to wait to reach PhD level or a doctoral level to specialize in studying one specific course. For example, I did study politics and international relations with French for my undergraduate degree, but then I specialized in a specific area of policy, which was really interesting to me. International graduates from the UK go on to have high career and life satisfaction. My organization commissioned a research of alumni of UK universities in 2019. We asked them lots of questions about their life after university, and 90% of them said that they have really high quality of life after graduating from UK universities, and their degree has helped them reach their international goals. The environment on UK campuses is very culturally enriching for all students. There's a great diversity of student populations on campuses. You can find people from each and every part of the world. There's lots of Europeans, lots of Austrians, as was mentioned earlier. And therefore, UK universities are particularly well adapted to support international students from even when they are not in the UK, during the application process, while they're preparing for studying into the UK, and during their time at the UK campus. This was proven on many occasions, especially during the pandemic, and I can assure you that there's many services in all UK universities that are designed specifically for international students. And last but not least, UK universities are world leaders in science, innovation, and research in various fields. Moving on to the practicalities about studying in the UK after Brexit. As you know, the status of EU domiciled students who have not managed to secure a pre-settled or settled status has changed. Previously, European domiciled students were considered home students as with regards to fees and immigration opportunities, while now they're considered international students. European students like yourself, Austrians, are now eligible for international fees. They are not eligible for accessing student loans as British students are, and European students, however, European students are eligible for scholarships. There's plenty of scholarships provided by universities in the UK for both undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD level. Some are by nationality, some are by subject level. So there is a great resource section in some of the websites that we suggested earlier that you can explore and find the most suitable option for you. In terms of immigration, a European domiciled student who doesn't have a pre-settled or settled status will need to apply for a student visa through the new student route if they're applying for studying for a full-time degree in the UK. If you're doing a short-term mobility, less than 6 months long, you don't have to apply for a student visa. There are costs related to the student visa, and there are also costs related to your health insurance as an international student. But we can go into that a little bit later if you have specific questions related to that. So in terms of mobility, a big change that does not affect you as students in the UK, prospective students to the UK does no longer participate in Erasmus. There are some mobilities that still happen within Erasmus until May 2023, but the UK government has introduced a different domestic student mobility scheme, the Turing scheme, which provides opportunities to students to do short-term, medium-term, and long-term study abroad all around the world, including European universities, but everywhere else in the world as well. And there is also very generous financial support for students who do that. So if you become a student in a UK university, you will still be able to do a placement abroad, a year abroad, or a term abroad in Europe or anywhere in the world within the Turing scheme. There are some changes as they relate to the recognition of degrees. From the 1st of January 2021, a few professional qualifications related to medicine and very specific type of degrees will need to be recognized by appropriate regulators in the domestic systems. There are now conversations between the UK and specific member states to begin the process of recognizing those degrees. But if prior to December 2020 your qualification was recognized by the relevant body in your system, you don't need to do anything at this stage. And last but not least, we'll see some testimonials from alumni of UK universities, and we'll play a couple of videos. Then we'll be here to answer all of your questions. So a graduate from Bachelor's in Civil Engineering from Germany has said that the education in the UK is world-class, and the focus on research and independent learning proved invaluable in the workplace in the future. Another alumni from Masters in Science in Computer Games and Entertainment, who is originally from Poland, said that I liked my course in particular because it was very well linked to the industry, and the professors did everything in their power to help us find jobs in the industry. My education was actually relevant to the jobs I have had since graduating. And next are some of the videos that we would like to play for you.
In terms of ranking, British universities are on the high end, and this is something that really attracted me. Hi, my name is Thais. I'm a final year psychology student at the University of Surrey. The British way of teaching is just one that I connect to more. The approach was more experiment-based. We get to interact more with the lecturers, have focus groups, and I think it's something that is really useful and really have been given the right tools. Yeah, I'm overall excited for what's to come. I'm on my way with a world-class education.
Studying in the UK gives me access to the research facilities I need, as well as world-class researchers. My name is Daniel. I'm a second-year PhD student at Sheffield Hallam. Most of my life in the UK revolves around ice hockey. I've been playing since I'm 5 years old. My research is looking into ice hockey helmets and concussion prevention. After graduating, I would like to work in a research and development department, possibly of a helmet manufacturer. I'm on my way to an exciting career.
In terms of ranking, British universities are...
Sorry. Thank you very much. I think that's the end of our presentation.
Aber wir nehmen gerne Fragen mit. Does anyone have questions? Yes.
You mentioned earlier that schools for business and management were recommended in the UK. Would you have any recommendations concerning certain schools?
I can say that we recommend all UK universities. Apparently from my research, it showed that lots of Austrian students are doing business and economics degrees in the UK. Obviously, you can explore the different courses on the UCAS website, on Study UK website. I think we didn't show the last slide with...
Studying in the UK.
Yes, this is the slide. With all of those websites provide lots of resources about different courses on offer, about different universities. Obviously, you can check the rankings as well. But it's best to think about what kind of factors you consider, what makes a great school according to how you see the world. We recommend all UK universities. It's definitely going to be a good choice, anything you select.
Thank you.
Are you able to work in the UK with a student visa?
Yes, you're able to work. There are specific provisions around working while you're on a student visa. There's a specific number of hours that you can work. But then I forgot to mention another important visa route. All international students that graduate from a UK university are eligible to apply for a graduate route visa. For 2 years, you can stay in the UK, work, look for work, or just gain valuable job experience on any level, while gaining valuable experience and transferring to a work visa, if that's something you're interested in.
Weitere Fragen? Ja?
How likely is it to get a place in student housing, or because there's not a lot of spaces, I think, right?
That's a really valid question. In media in Europe and in the UK, there's a lot of discussions about the accommodation, the availability of accommodation on campuses. The issues related to accommodation, I would say, are region-specific. Obviously, the earlier you apply for accommodation, the most likely you are to secure yourself a space. The general practice of UK universities is that accommodation is available for the first year of the student, or if you're doing a master's degree, for the whole duration of your master's degree. And that's just how the process works. But the earlier the better. In large student towns with, for example, several universities, there will be a lot of accommodation for students, and in larger cities as well.
Just roundabout, how expensive would it be for me if I want to study in the United Kingdom?
So there is several factors to consider in this. The fees, the accommodation, the lifestyle, how often you fly back and from. The fees are defined by each and every university themselves. They vary across subjects, levels. If you're doing an undergraduate degree or master's, they vary across disciplines, depending on the fact whether you have support, financial support from the university or another scholarship. This would all vary. Obviously, costs for lifestyle, for accommodation would vary from region to region. I cannot put a specific price for that, but I'm sure that there are websites that you can actually compare cost of living in different parts of the world to make an informed decision.
Weitere Fragen? haben Sie einen Messestand hier in Wien?
Ja, also wir sind direkt unter uns hier, Stand A17. Da finden Sie auch nochmal alle Informationen, die wir jetzt gerade besprochen haben. Auch nochmal einen Überblick über alle Internetseiten. Und da sind 2 liebevolle Kolleginnen, die weitere Fragen beantworten werden.
Dann sagen wir many thanks for your information. Applause please for Elena Roversi and Valentina Chervenkova. Dankeschön.
Thank you for having us.